Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Wednesday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glenora Shipura. In the news tonight, the Namibia Children's Home is the beneficiary of a remarkable joint initiative between the Office of the First Lady of the Republic of Namibia and the Embassy of the People's Republic of China in Namibia as part of the Warm Children's Hearts, a China-Africa joint action. A one-day event offers free medical checks for children by a delegate of 10 Chinese medical doctors, exemplifying the strong bond between Namibia and China. Expert professionals and volunteers unite to prioritize the well-being of children at the Namibia Children's Home. Now, the First Lady, Monica Ginkos, delivered the keynote address.
While the Chinese First Lady has provided leadership and awareness raising on HIV in China, this program we are launching today is not focused on HIV necessarily, but is more focused on general health screening of children living in orphanages. Prevention of any health ailment is always better and cheaper than cure. Professor Huang Shui, we wish you all the best in your important work today. And please pass my gratitude. Actually, I can do it myself, so since they're sitting right in front of me. Thank you to all of you who are part of the Chinese medical team. Because the work you are doing will lead to long and healthy lives for these children. And I wish you long and healthy lives for your commitment to this initiative. My office is incredibly grateful for the close collaboration with key ministries like the Ministry of Youth, Sport and National Service, the Ministry of Gender Equality, Poverty, Eradication and Social Welfare, the Ministry of Education, and the Ministry of Health and Social Services. Because in our work, we focus on the physical, mental, and intellectual health of adolescents and young people. I'm confident that by now many of you have heard about Project Be Free. And this is the signage that's there. And on that side, you'll notice it says powered by youth, because it is. And everything we've learned with Project Be Free, we're currently constructing a center which we'll call the Be Free Youth Campus, which will be a youth-friendly and judgment-free environment for young people to thrive. The youth campus will have a multidisciplinary team and focus to create a safe and enabling environment for quality access to adolescent-friendly healthcare, mental health support, skills development, academic support, and entrepreneurial development. Young people face many challenges. Young people who live in residential care facilities like this one face even more challenges. And the Project Be Free campus will welcome all young people, regardless of their circumstances, to join our Be Free family and allow us to journey with them so that we can co-create solutions that heal, empower, and protect. This Warm Hearts initiative is not just about ensuring the provision of healthcare to orphans and vulnerable children. It's also about friendship. It's about sending the message that it may feel like the world has forgotten you, but you are not forgotten. You are not alone. Ambassador, through you.
During the opening of the Lifeline International Africa Region Member Forum, Jeremiah Ngihipunjwa, Deputy Executive Director for the Ministry of Health and Social Services, speaking on behalf of Esther Munyangwe, Deputy Minister of MOS, stated that in the period span of January 2021 and July 2022, Namibia witnessed a loss of 779 lives to suicide, of which 30 are from juvenile. These statistics serve as a somber reminder of the far-reaching consequences of this crisis, affecting families, communities, and the nation as a whole, said Ngihipunjwa.
Deeply honored and privileged to deliver the keynote address at this Lifeline Forum hosted by Lifeline Childline Namibia. This gathering presents a significant milestone in our shared commitment to suicide prevention, and I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Lifeline Childline Namibia for hosting this important event. As we come together we have the distinct privilege of convening with the members of Lifeline International, representing various countries. Each of us is bound by a common purpose to confront the challenges surrounding suicide and work tirelessly to provide support, hope, and prevention strategies to those in need. It is of utmost importance that we fully grasp the magnitude of the situation and gain a comprehensive understanding of the extent in which we are operating. Namibia, like many other countries, grapples with its own unique set of challenges when it comes to suicide prevention. Recent data from Namibia underscores the urgent need for unified action. According to the World Health Organization, Namibia's suicide rate stands at 9.7 per 100,000 population, placing it among the highest in Africa. These distressing figures are particularly alarming when considering the impact on young people. In the period spanning from January 2021 to July 2022, Namibia witnessed a devastating loss of 779 lives due to suicide. Amongst this tragic number, 643 were adult males, while 106 were adult females who chose to end their lives. Additionally, 18 male juveniles and 12 female juveniles tragically succumbed to suicide during the same period. These statistics serve as a somber reminder of the far-reaching consequences of this crisis, affecting families, communities, and the nation as a whole. They emphasize the urgent need for collective efforts to address this pressing issue. Director of Proceedings, we must acknowledge that our work in suicide prevention is not merely important, it is imperative. It is incumbent upon us to harness the power of collaboration, knowledge sharing, and innovative approaches to alleviate the suffering and provide much needed support to individuals and communities affected by this tragic loss of life.
Agra Namibia launched their annual Windling competition. This competition aims to improve farming and breeding standards in Namibia. Andre Carlile, the winner of the competition in 2022, indicated that he will participate again this year and advised his competitors to strive for the best rather than hope for it.
Here, everybody here is the series partners that we've known or learned to know over the years, and we have some new faces here as well, so a very warm welcome to you as well. To the members of the press and media, welcome to you, and then Agra staff and management that's also attending here, welcome to you as well. So like all of you know, we've got the winner series coming up, so this is the official launch of that, and this is actually to showcase the quality of products that the farmers produce and to give them a chance to showcase that and to compete it with each other and to see who's got the best animals on the auctions. So that helps them also to measure their quality of breeding material with other farmers as well. But it also gives you the opportunity to promote your brands and to liaise and mingle with the farmers and with the Agra staff as well. And by that, hopefully you will do more business with.
Lifeline International CEO Tilini Pereira touched on the 50 years of advocacy that Lifeline has had on suicide prevention. We get into this story in our story of the day after the break.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Now, the Lifeline International Africa Region Member Forum is currently underway at Lifeline Childline Namibia in Windhoek. This is the first time the forum is taking place in Namibia. Lifeline International CEO Thileni Pereira touched on the 50 years of advocacy that Lifeline has had on suicide prevention. She stated that the organization has interacted with over 2.3 million people around the world across 26 different member countries and 200 plus Lifeline centers. Pereira also stated that the organization will launch a campaign to decriminalize suicide across the world during the two-day forum taking place at Lifeline Childline Namibia's head office in Windhoek.
Earlier, we actually stand on the shoulders of giants as we take our next strides, because we acknowledge that there have been people around for 20 years in this network, and it's actually one of the privileges of meeting with different Lifeline member organisations is that we actually get to meet people who've been working in the organisation for over 10, 20 years, because the commitment to Lifeline and to suicide prevention is great. So in terms of our network globally that this room is a part of, we collectively have, it's now just in the last week, gone to 26 members, as we had a new member join us from Penang in Malaysia. So 26 members across 23 countries now, and our members collectively operate over 200 Lifeline centres around the world, and collectively all around the world help more than 2.3 million contacts a year. We actually think that number is a lot higher. But that's based on the information available to us. So just wanted to acknowledge that while I know that there seems to be a lot of unmet demand, we should also celebrate the fact that over 2.3 million people get their calls answered around the world in time of crisis. In terms of the stats and the problem that we're collectively trying to solve together globally, we know that over 700,000 people take their life by suicide every year. We also know that, more than a large number of those deaths occur in low and middle income countries around the world. And actually, it is the fourth leading cause of death for people between 15 to 29 years of age. That is not a stat that we should celebrate. And I know as I've traveled the world and spoken to a lot of member countries that youth suicide continues to be something that we're all collectively concerned about. In terms of an effective response to suicide prevention, because resources are limited, we are looking at, where do we mobilise our resources to get the greatest impact, in suicide prevention. I think there's a couple of things we need to think about, not just globally, but at a continental and in-country sort of level. We know that in any population there are at-risk groups, where some groups are more at risk than others. We know that, some of the stats show that men are more at risk. Certainly young people, Indigenous communities have higher incidence and are more at risk of dying by suicide. We also know that 77% of global deaths by suicide occur in low and middle income countries. That should tell us, where we need to turn our attention and mobilise our resources as well. And then there are those barriers to seeking help, where the help might be available, but we're actually not able to align with the people that need our help. And why is that? Well, there are a couple of different barriers that we've identified to people coming forward and seeking help. One is that in some countries in the world today, suicide is still a crime. And where it is a crime, it is difficult for people to come forward, put their hand up and say, I'm experiencing these thoughts, I need help, because of the fear of sanction.
The Deputy Director for Jiangsu Province Foreign Office, Yang Jing, says Namibia and China will continue to build on their strong relations as envisioned by the founding presidents of both countries. We get into this story on the other side of the break.
to another exciting episode of Oneuptwo.
Is die weer en vertel ook vir julle waar die vis heel moontlik gaan byt.
In our community talk segment, the Deputy Director for Jiangsu Province Foreign Office, Yang Jing, says Namibia and China will continue to build on their strong relations as envisioned by the founding presidents of both countries, former Presidents Sam Nujoma and Mao Zedong. Now, Jing made the comments following a working visit by 13 Namibian journalists to that province last week. Now, Jiangsu Province has a twinning agreement with the Commerce Regional Council, while its capital, Nanjing, is a twinning city to Namibia's capital, Windhoek.
Namibia-China relations, and are you happy with the relationship that the countries have at the moment?
那当然，我觉得我们跟纳米比亚的关系，这个友好已经是历史悠久了，也不是现在。我们有以前我们老一辈的，这个给我们传承了我们这个友谊，我们还会继续传承和发扬我们跟中纳之间的友好合作。我们现在是中纳之间是全面战略合作伙伴的关系，我们都是好朋友、好伙伴。
Of course, we have a very long history of friendly relations, which is the legacy of the founding fathers of the two nations. We have inherited this legacy, and now we have formed a comprehensive strategic partnership, and we are carrying on these friendly relations to a brighter future.
You have various
In economic news, after the break, stimulus total assets at $651.1 million Namibian. We expand on this story after the break.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with entertainment. Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news. Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
Stimulus investments total assets under management amounted to $651.1 million Namibian for the financial year ended 28th of February compared to $648.8 million Namibian recorded in the previous financial year. The stimulus has investments in Namibia Media Holdings Group, Plastic Packaging Group, Neo Paints Group, Simet, Polyak Packaging Namibia, Commerce Solar Saver, and Valvis-based Steve Dorenk. We now take a look at our economic news.
Component of that movement is the fair value adjustment of 80 million upwards. So that is a 13% increase in the value of the portfolio, and it has been driven by the market transaction that we did during the year. So I think that's a really positive story on the stimulus investment portfolio, and I think it's probably the most important news we have today. Running through the rest of the balance sheet, we've got the investment in the money market fund, which is actually the cash reserves of stimulus. That amounts to 5% of our total assets under management. So stimulus is fully invested, and that cash balance will remain constant going forward. And that's the asset side of the balance sheet. Obviously,
let's dive into our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar traded against the British pound at 24.41 and against the euro at 20.98 and $2 gets you 1 Chinese yuan. Zinc went up 0.17%, while Brent crude oil went down 0.51%. trading at $73.60 per barrel. In the international slot, Russian court rejects appeal by Kremlin critic Navalny's lawyers for more time over a new case.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Moscow's city court earlier today rejected an appeal by Kremlin critics Navalny's lawyers for more time to familiarize themselves with documents in a new case on charges that could keep him in prison for decades. Navalny is already serving a combined sentences of 11.5 years of fraud and contempt of court in a maximum security penal colony on charges that he says were trumped to silence him. The court record said the charges against Navalny, a former lawyer, related to 6 different articles of the Russian Criminal Code, including rehabilitation of Nazism and the creation of an extremist organization. In a tweet posted on his account by his supporters, Navalny wrote, "Well, Alexia, you are in some real trouble now. The Prosecutor General's office has officially provided me with 3,828 pages describing all the crimes I've committed while already imprisoned." We now head into your weather predictions. Let's take a look at the weather predictions. Katamulilo can expect a minimum of 16 degrees Celsius with a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius, while Oshakati can expect a minimum of 16 degrees Celsius with a maximum of 29. Handys Bay can expect a minimum of 12 degrees with a maximum of 18 degrees, while Rehoboth can expect a minimum of 7 degrees with a maximum of 25. We now head over to the sports desk, proudly brought to you by Sports Rep.
Good evening, viewers. Let's take a look at what's on Sunset News today. Well, the Eagles men cricket team, supported by Airlink, was announced this morning by Cricket Namibia in the capital. The 8th annual UIS Fly-In, organized by Lisama, Light Sport and Amateur Built Aircraft Association of Namibia, captivated aviation enthusiasts and locals in the picturesque town of Uis in the Namibia's Erongo region. Well, Namibia Taekwondo Federation, NTF, executives this morning at the Namibia Sports Commission in Windhoek spoke on the admission of NTF at the recently World Taekwondo Federation General Assembly, which was held over the weekend from the 27th to the 28th of May 2023 in Baku, Azerbaijan, where Namibia was represented by OTS interim President Sigi Vei Mujoro. That's it from us here this evening. Please do have a good night.
This is Sunset News, and if you have just joined us, here are the news highlights from today's broadcast. The Namibia Children's Home is the beneficiary of a remarkable joint initiative between the Office of the First Lady of the Republic of Namibia and the Embassy of the People's Republic of China in Namibia. During the period span of January 2021 and July 2022, Namibia witnessed a loss of 779 lives to suicide, of which 30 are from juveniles. These statistics serve as a somber reminder of the far-reaching consequences of this crisis affecting families, communities, and the nation as a whole. Agra Namibia launched their annual Winling competition. This competition aims to improve farming and breeding standards in Namibia. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, oneuptwo.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 every weekday from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. I am Glenora Shipura. This has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.